Welcome back at this rediscovery of the 24 Elder Futard runes, and today let's dive further into the second rune of the 24 Elder Futard runes, which is Uruz. Uruz is a very interesting rune stave, especially of course when you get them in one of your readings, also together with some other wells as well, which can be a very challenging rune but also a very powerful one. So let's first discover a couple of rune poems related to Uruz. The wild ox has great horns, which it gores, a fierce fighter who boldly stamps the moors, which is an Old English rune poem. Then we have a Norwegian rune poem. Slag is cast from bad iron, reindeer cross the hard snow. And for an Icelandic rune poem, drizzle is the weeping of clouds and blights the harvest and is hated by the herdsmen. What is that you need to think about in terms of visualization? Uruz is a wild ox that was roaming, of course, the plains here in Europe, the times of the Indo-Europeans. A black, wild, ancient ox, a fierce fighter that was being seen and used by hunters for a major challenge for young hunters and fighters to go through a rite of passage. So this is basically what the rune really represents. Uruz represents the archetype of challenge, of initiation, something that requires a primal force energy of brute force to really break through a certain type of blockage you might be experiencing in your life. Because like I just said, the wild ox was being seen as a major threat by young hunters, and those who were up for the challenge, who will hunt down this animal as an process of initiation, a rite of passage. So the young boy could really see himself like going through a trial, a contest, which he had to overcome. And then he would call himself a true hunter, a warrior. Now, if you get this rune stave in reversed, then obviously it really represents you are not willing or don't have the courage, you lack the courage to face your challenges. So it is a very challenging one that, first of all, if you get them in the right position, then this is of course like a test or trial you need to face. What is required is to get access to this brute force energy that exists within us to break through these challenges. If you get them like in reversed, then it is not like you are really willing to get access or to pull up this inner strength that is required to break really through this challenge that you're facing, that you are walking away from the process of initiation or the rite of passage that you must go through in order to wake up towards a new kind of reality that you must go into. For modern day culture, it is not really like man and woman, they really go through the rite of passage anymore, especially of course like young men going from boyhood into manhood. The kind of initiation we are getting is basically from our video games these days. And that's why sometimes for a lot of men they wake up to reality if they absolutely face major challenges in their life, whether it be work related or spiritually or financially, or in terms of the relationships, they go through a massive heartbreak or a breakup, a divorce or something, and that could be part of their initiation process. And this challenge also of course must be accepted with courage. If you don't face this challenge with courage, courage comes from the word's core, it is also a sign that we must really remember our ancestral lineage and heritage as well, because this courage of course really runs through our veins of pulling up this primal energy that exists within us to really face that challenge we are up against. Once again, that challenge might be completely different in our modern day culture. Because we don't, of course, live in the times of battlefields anymore, unless, of course, you're in the military. But if you saw one of my recent videos, like if men still go to Valhalla, which is really like a symbol, like when men die on the battlefield, then their soul will, ascend to an afterlife kind of realm, where they will be prepared for the major battle of Ragnarok. Now, this kind of mythology could symbolize something in a shamanic meaning as well, and that is, of course, that we are must facing different challenges within our life that will build up our personality and character, and we must really face that, of course, with courage. But also remember is that we are not alone within this process, because we can pull up the energy from our ancestors as well, which once again we can gain access through that through various shamanic healing rituals, shamanic trance journeys and energy healing sessions to really pull up this energy that is required to face that challenge. Compare the Uruz with the Vehu. The Vehu is obviously much more nurturing, warmth, cattle, cow, which can provide comfort, material, wealth, possessions, and all of that. And of course the Uruz, which is really much more related to an hostile kind of environments. Perhaps you need to think about an icy cold climate that is far away from comfort, but by facing this challenge, this is also what a lot of men actually desire, is to venture out into also part of what Carl Jung would say, diving into our shadow aspect of the subconscious mind, is to pull out these shadow aspects that we need to face, that we need to conquer, which requires lots of courage in order to overcome a lot of these challenges. And going on to this hunt of doing shadow work, for example, this could also be like a rite of passage in modern day times, where we once again are opening up to the shamanic impulse of our Northwest European heritage and spiritual roots. This could be part of our awakening as well for both men and women, of course, when we are facing these trials and tribulations of hardship and challenge. And if we are not willing to really do it, then of course, like, part of our shadow aspect can, of course, like, sucking us into our shadow aspect, because we can never really fully outrun our own shadow. It doesn't really mean what you're trying to do, travel the world in order to seek for enlightenment. Eventually you will come back to your roots and seeing and feeling where you really belong, and that's what you really must work on. And this is what a lot of people are not really yet up against, this type of task. That's why this type of work is, of course, not really for the faint-hearted, but those who have the courage can pull in so much of incredible, of primal energy by facing this rite of passage, and take enormous amount of pride, because that's really what the hunters of our Indo-European ancestors used to do. They used to sacrifice themselves in the hunt in order to win the prize of initiation, and seeing their catch as something they were worthy of. So I think this is a very, very beautiful rune. I absolutely love the Uruz, and if you pull this one, then I think you are blessed with one of the most rewarding life challenges that mankind can honor themselves with. But anyway, now of course I'm very curious about your thoughts. What do you think about this rune? Have you got any of these runes in a reading yet, or if you're up against doing a personalized reading? For me personally, what I first do is I draw or I pull in kind of like 4 different runes, that could indicate someone's energy of where they are at in life, through accessing the so-called the web of life. Through synchronicities we can really see, do a reading of where someone is at, and then we can go further into a consult to really figure out like, okay, so what exactly could it mean. But also for those who are really ready for it, is take on the energy of the rune and then combine it with a deep shamanic journey for a deeper integration of what it is that we are up against right now. So if you want to learn more about that, then feel free to join my list and the community, of course, of rune readings and shamanic journeys, which I also, of course, will publish on this channel as well. Anyway, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in one of my next videos. Take care for now.